Reddit is the monolith in Google right now. In fact, if you really like the easier path to rank for anything in Google, it's just go focus on Reddit right now. Like if you
Interesting.
are like an affiliate marketer or an SEO scammer and you just want to make a bunch of cash, or you just want to do a bunch of easy work for clients, charge them hefty service fees and like not do a whole
Oh
lot and
my
have a lean
goodness.
team, you could probably take in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year with a very reasonable amount of work if you just focus on exploiting Reddit to get SEO rankings.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Crowdcreate podcast, where we bring on thought leaders to share the untold stories and strategies all about marketing and helping your business grow. Lars, would love for you to introduce yourself. You actually went viral on LinkedIn, and that's
Yeah.
how I learned about you. So yeah, Lars, would love for you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I spent my whole career. Yeah, it's great to be here. I spent my whole career in online marketing, doing a lot of inbound SEO, content marketing. Worked with SaaS startups, influencer businesses, creator businesses, and then I ran my own company, which was a SEO affiliate company over the last 4 or 5 years. And now I just do kind of consulting with a few select clients. But my first job out of college was actually Neil Patel hired me. He was my first manager.
Wow.
So I go way back. And I've been around quite a bit. So happy to share some of these stories and help out folks as best I can.
I love it. Okay. The dirty world of SEO or search engine optimization. Nowadays, it's all about AI or even just AI search engine optimization using ChatGPT, Perplexity, but focusing more on SEO itself, which is Google, Bing, Yahoo, the major search engines out there. Yeah, walk us through, basically this post that went viral on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So we're in a weird time in SEO right now. I think even a lot of like non-marketers, just like normal people just using Google have like figured out something is off. And something that I've heard for the last couple of years is just complaint after complaint after complaint about Forbes. Right. Not even from normal people, everyone in SEO is just sick of them ranking for everything. And I've certainly seen them. It started around 2020 or 2022 is when they really started to take off. And I started seeing them everywhere. And I got really frustrated the other day. I got really frustrated at Google. Like nothing makes sense in Google anymore. These rankings don't make sense. And I was like, who are these people? Who is running this Forbes program? Because some of them, whoever's running the show knows what they're doing. They are everywhere. I got to respect the work. They're relentless. They're the keyword research that they've done is extremely impressive. I find them in nooks and crannies that I would never find anybody else. So I finally sat down and I wanted to figure out who is actually running the show. And I stumbled into, I personally believe it counts as parasite SEO, but there's this whole separate company from Forbes running all basically the massive SEO affiliate program on Forbes. It's called Marketplace. Sometimes it's referred to as Forbes Marketplace. But Forbes, the main company, only owns slightly less than 40% of Forbes Marketplace. They're a minority shareholder of this separate company. And there's rumors of buyouts for Marketplace, of trying to like buy Forbes. Apparently that deal died. And then there was another deal recently that still involves some of the same people, and they're trying to buy Forbes. So it's all this weird stuff. And I basically just documented my whole kind of like everything I figured out, and it kind of went crazy. So
I love
that's
it.
the story of Forbes in a brief nutshell.
And let's pull it up, the specific example. So if someone was to go to Google and if they were searching for best CBD gummies and they type that in and look who ranks number one
Yeah,
on
number
Google
one. Yeah,
is Forbes.com.
Forbes.
And so Lars did a great job of just figuring out, okay, what's the backstory here?
Yeah. So when I was trying to part of the reason I think people are getting really frustrated at Forbes is not that, okay, they have this big domain, everybody knows Forbes, this big brand, and of course they're ranking for all this business stuff in Google. And you're like, okay, it kind of makes sense. But what really has angered a lot of people, especially what I think in the SEO community, is the fact that they went way beyond just business. they started going after everything. And by
Hmm.
everything, I mean everything. And I started looking through their site to find out what are some popular pages. And I found this CBD Gummies page. It's ranking number one. Now, I don't know who is the premier authority in CBD gummies. This is a space I don't partake in personally. I have nothing against it. Go have fun. But I don't know who should be the authority. But I am pretty sure it shouldn't be Forbes, right? Like
Uh-huh.
whoever has the best opinion on CBD gummies, it ain't Forbes, in my
Hmm.
opinion. I don't think, but Google obviously thinks differently currently. So there's a bunch of these. I found a post on like how to remove cockroaches.
Wow.
There's all sorts of, they're building an entire new subsection of the site on sports and sports betting. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. This is so far out of left field. Um, so I think that's what people are seeing. They're seeing Forbes just everywhere in Google. And there was a time in Google for most of the, the 2010s that it was you couldn't just rank for whatever you want, right? You really had to put in the work, even if you were a major domain, and build a lot of topical authority, build a ton of content. It would take years and years and years to get anything off the ground. That's the way Google used to work.
Hmm.
Now, the current environment is all these major brands, particularly major media sites, news publishers, they get kind of this free pass in Google
Hmm.
and they get a rank for whatever they want. And they just publish content. They follow a pretty straightforward playbook, the same SEO content playbook that so many of us have been taught, so many of us have been used. And they just build their clusters. They go after the right topics. They keep it clean. They do search intent, and then for competitive stuff, they like really dial in and make sure that their page is always improving and ahead of the pack and doing tons of updates and all that classic SEO content stuff, right?
Yep.
And they're doing that, and it's just working relentlessly for them. Like they're like just swimming downstream with a current that like nobody else has ever been able to fucking benefit from in all of SEO, except for maybe Reddit, which is a whole other
Yeah.
story, right? So they're ranking everywhere. These major media sites are ranking everywhere. And I think it's bothering a lot of users. It's certainly bothering a lot of like indie web publishers and other SEOs that are like, this doesn't make sense. Why are they ranking for anything and everything? So it's a bit of the SEO world is in a very weird place right now. Well,
Yep. Yeah, and so just in general for the audience, right? Search engine optimization. Google is the world's largest website.
mhm.
That's where people go for just daily inquiries for search related to on the business side of things. Whether you're looking to purchase best CBD gummies, or even a standing desk for your office, or even if you're looking to purchase car insurance, Google can ultimately choose and determine who would be at the top of
Yeah.
that search engine. And it's constantly changing. The algorithm constantly changing. So what, search engine optimization or marketing specialists do is to create really good content to hopefully signal it to Google that this is the authority in the space. And Lars is, one of those authorities that I've come to respect in regards to just how the sausage is made kind of behind the scenes for this algorithm, the placement, and even in the world now of AI. Lars really brought it to our attention that Google and Reddit has done a partnership where Google's serving more of Reddit's traffic, and even
Yeah.
how that be manipulated. Is there anything I'm missing from that, Lars?
No, it's a good summary. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
Depending on well, how you depending on how you look at it, some SEOs, the nice way to say it is that SEOs, people that do SEO either for clients or on behalf of companies, they're trying to help Google understand websites or websites get understood by Google. There's a lot of that doesn't just happen. You got a lot of
Hmm.
work that goes into that. And to hopefully serve quality content to the people that want it, right? That's a whole that also just doesn't just happen. There's a lot of work that goes into that. So that's like the polite way to say it.
Yeah.
The bad way to say it is that everybody, not everybody, but there's also a good chunk of the SEO community or SEO professionals that do try to exploit users, exploit Google, get the rankings, make a bunch of money, and then exit stage left with their bags of cash. That does happen, and there's a whole range. Everyone from the good folks to the not so good folks. So it's a mix.
I love it. Be manipulated. Is there anything I'm missing from that, Lars?
No, it's a good summary. Yeah.
Google can actually make or break a business
Oh yeah.
depending on where they
Yes.
rank them in the algorithm, right? And
Yep.
it's really the first 10 results. And so, say, for example, you manufacture desks and you're looking for a desk or any type of furniture, anything in your home, consumer buying decision, you go to Google, you type in best standing desk, and then you, of course, have these top two sponsored. And then it's interesting that Google has decided to place New York Times at the top. In the previous examples, Forbes, but
Yep.
also Reddit is now
Yes.
number two. And so, yeah, Lars,
Yeah.
break us down what happened here.
So Reddit, Reddit's the whole other part of Google right now. Is that if you look at the search visibility charts of Reddit over the last year, the
And let me
search
pull that up so people can
yeah,
see
Reddit,
just how crazy it's
it's
been.
obscene. It's crazy.
hmm
It's absolutely like I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a website grow so fast in Google in my entire career like Reddit has. I think what happened, this is the rumor or the speculation kind of in the SEO community, is 2 years ago or so, there was a bunch of pretty high profile news articles and journalism pieces that went out that basically started to criticize the search results and made a big thing about how the all like if you're ahead of the curve and you're trying to get good content, the trick was just to add Reddit to the end of every single one of your search terms. I remember hearing this. I remember
Right.
this
Yes.
trend start. We all, and if you're in digital marketing, you probably heard about it early. If you're an old Reddit user like I am, you're like, yeah, of course, right. I've used Reddit for a long, long, long time. And so that word was getting out. They're like, okay, stop using Google, just use Reddit for everything. So just add the term Reddit in every search term that you look for, and you'll find great stuff. Well, this sort of like made it into the mainstream. And I think it freaked Google out. And Google was like, oh no, we have a problem. So either intentionally, unintentionally, I have no idea. But what happened in the 2 years following is that Google basically decided to rank Reddit for everything. Like
Wow.
even more so than Forbes, right? Reddit is the monolith in Google right now. In fact, if you really like the easier path to rank for anything in Google, it's just go focus on Reddit right now. Like if you
Interesting.
are like an affiliate marketer or an SEO scammer and you just want to make a bunch of cash, or you just want to do a bunch of easy work for clients, charge them hefty service fees and like not do a whole
Oh
lot and
my
have a lean
goodness.
team, you could probably take in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year with a very reasonable amount of work if you just focus on exploiting Reddit to get SEO rankings. I'm seeing all sorts of crazy stuff. It is the Wild West. It feels like kind of like 2005 in Google, maybe even a little earlier. Like all the old school, like super spammy, low effort hacks, they're all back and they're just on Reddit, right? So, and that's because Google has favored Reddit to such an extreme degree. Now, depending on who you talk to, of course, in the SEO community, there'll be conspiracy theories of like, oh, Reddit has this major partnership with Google now, right? Like tons of money's being exchanged. It's an official partnership. They're working together. Basically, Google is paying Reddit a bunch of money to like use all of their content for their AI data, their LLMs. So people are like, oh, there's a lot of like, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Maybe there's something nefarious going on. I don't personally believe in all that stuff. But it's not a good look. Like it is
hmm
partnership and then Reddit gaining all this visibility. It's bad timing, certainly. But regardless of what actually is happening, Reddit now gets extreme preference in Google to the point where tons of stuff ranks that it shouldn't. And there's very little policing being done on Reddit content by Google.
Wow. And there you have it, the dirty world of SEO, and even, from a marketer himself, because, as Lars was mentioning, right now it's the Wild West. It's 2005, right? As a business, it's all about eyeballs. Where are your customers reading? Where's their attention? I'm pulling up the graph here for people that are watching this on YouTube. Reddit 7 times their traffic, if not more, in the last year alone. And so now we live in the world of AI, AI SEO, generative engine optimization, and you can see the results skewing towards Reddit, which is right. It has the training data that Google's looking for. And so, being a part of the community, organically inserting yourself into the Reddit conversation and just using this as an example, right? There's a lot of money to be made in SEO and even Reddit marketing because that is where consumer buying habits are having. This is where Google's pointing their traffic. But yeah, can you share here what happened in this standing desk
Yeah. So,
subreddit?
so yeah, I'm an old Reddit user, and I've also spent a good amount of time building, affiliate SEO businesses. So I know how the affiliate game works. I know how Google works. And, for people that don't know, an affiliate business is basically, you get some content featured often in Google or somewhere else. And then you get your content in front of an audience. And then when people click your link and they go to some other website, that link has a bunch of tracking on it. And then if people purchase on that site, you get a kickback, right? You get a chunk of that cash. It's very popular. It's all over YouTube. There's a lot of it going on Instagram, all the social networks, all that stuff. It's very well known, well trod model to like monetize a content account or website or something, right? So I know this space very well. And so figured out this best standing desk. I have a standing desk too. So this is something I know a little bit about. And I searched, and at the time, this exact thread was ranking number one. Now it's technically number two, but it was number one back in August. And you can't see it right now because like tons of comments have been deleted. You can even see the content of the post is just deleted by the person that originally wrote it. Like things
Wow.
are missing from this post. Back in August, all that content was here. If you just search for Lars Reddit marketing, my blog has screenshots of how it looked if anybody wants to go see it. But point is, I found this this thread, and what had happened is the Reddit mod, not just a user, a moderator, someone with some degree of authority and is supposed to do the right thing. The Reddit mod, a Reddit mod of the subreddit Standing Desks, had found this thread. I assume after it started ranking like really high in Google. This
Mm-hmm.
Reddit mod had gone into this thread, and what Reddit mods can do, they have a lot of powers. One of the things they can do is they can pin a comment to the top of the thread.
Wow.
And often, this is a good feature, right? Say if a thread gets a little too cantankerous, people start getting a little worked up. A Reddit mod can go in and just sort of like make an announcement, settle things down, kind of clarify things. This is good. You see this all the time in Reddit. Well, this Reddit mod had come in, pinned a comment to the very top. So it was technically the top recommendation in the thread. If you were just going to Google, clicking the number one ranking, which would take you here, and then clicking on the very first link, it would be this Reddit, this comment from this Reddit mod, right? And in that thread, to paraphrase, this person said something to the effect of, hey, I'm going to just kind of recap all the recommendations in this thread, and I compiled them in one location. So it's easy. Go here. So you
Wow.
clicked on this link, and it didn't take you to, and you see all the deleted comments. They're fucking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I had a hand in that. So this, if you click the link from this Reddit mod, you get taken to this website. It didn't have any of the actual recommendations from the thread at all. It was this super sketchy affiliate site. As soon as you hit it, you're like, this is not a real website. This is a scam affiliate site. It was very low quality. They didn't even go through and like come up with a list of products and then
Mm-hmm.
link to them at like stores you could buy. They just found, I don't know if anybody has spent any time with the Amazon affiliate program. This is a little old school, but and I'm surprised that Amazon still has it because I haven't seen one in the wild for years and years and years. But you can go to Amazon and instead of like picking links per product individually, that's an affiliate list of bullshit, by the way. They're not.
Uh-huh.
Um, but you could just go to Amazon and say, hey, Amazon, I don't even want to put any effort into this. Give me a table of products around this product category. Feature whatever you want, list whatever products you want, add affiliate links to everything. This person just took this copy and paste table and just put it in their website and was like, here's the top standing desks.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were just blindly clicking, the top link first in Google and then the top link in Reddit, you'd end up on this super shitty affiliate website that had no effort put at all into it and was just a list of terrible, knockoff, cheap, terrible standing desks that no one should even be looking at, right? And I found this. I wrote a whole blog post about it. And then like a week later, I went and checked. The Reddit mod had been suspended. The mod had tried to use an alternate account, added a new comment, was, I assume, upvoting it in a non-legit way, trying to get another account like upvoted in the thread to link back to the site underneath a different user. I called that out. That user got suspended too. A bunch of other affiliate links in that thread, those users got suspended and the comments were deleted. That's why the whole thread is just carnage at this point. But even since then, I still check this like every couple of weeks just out of curiosity. New folks have gone in, added their affiliate links. They're now being a little bit smarter about it. They're linking to their own like their own posts on Reddit, or they're linking to like different subreddits that they control with different threads, adding their affiliate links over there. So they're trying to obscure what's going on. Point is, like, when you're looking, if you're searching for products in Google and you end up in Reddit, you need to be extremely careful. The
Yeah.
odds that it's bullshit are actually like really, really high. And if you see a link through Reddit and you find that stuff via Google, you can basically assume it's an affiliate link.
Mhm.
Like,
And Lars, you do a great job of highlighting all of this
yeah,
on your
it's all
blog. And
there.
so for everyone here that wants to read more, learn more, it's unbelievable how you recap it. And I think it's like one of the best like cases of investigative journalism on SEO that I've seen. So yeah,
I
I'm pulling it
appreciate
up
that.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lars, it's fantastic how you really highlighted and brought this to people's attention. I did mention this also on LinkedIn when we were going back and forth. You now rank number one on Google when somebody types in Forbes Marketplace. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
That is Google's algorithm basically saying, here is the best search result by usability, right? Google's algorithm, double EAT, more people and spend longer time, and I'm guessing reading this article that you have about Forbes Marketplace compared to Forbes Marketplace itself. And so for anybody here that wants to improve their SEO of visibility on Google, first principles here, Lars is just a fantastic example of create the best content possible that hooks people in, that stays, that they engage. And there's just so much that goes into the algorithm. And overall, Lars builds growth marketing teams, helps companies with search engine optimization and visibility. This is just a great use case. And I still believe that there's good in the world with Google, and they rightfully placed you number one here above even Forbes Marketplace itself. So the power of Google SEO, most business
Mhm.
owners sometimes don't understand just how powerful it can be. So,
Yeah.
say, for example, I'm a parent and I was trying to buy a new car. And if I said, what's the best family car out there, right? And most people do this when they purchase, before they purchase a car, they're going to go to Google. And Google chose car and driver to rank number one. And then number two, they placed Reddit, and Honda Odyssey is now mentioned. Like, just out of curiosity, if you would estimate this, how many more cars do you think Honda is selling because they were placed on the first page of Google? Yeah, I'm
A
just super,
lot.
yeah,
I don't know what the
right.
number is, but I can tell you this. There's plenty of SEO categories that I don't have
Mhm.
experience in. Cars is one of them. I have no experience, but I have played quite well and quite competitively in some pretty competitive SEO categories that have a ton of volume. There's a lot of money to be made, and there are some very serious folks that are all trying to get to these top rankings. And I can speak from actual experience. I've actually done this. There are keywords out there and where if you rank number one and you get the
Mhm.
right affiliate relationships or advertising sponsorship partnerships in place, you can absolutely make $100,000 off of one blog post
Wow.
per month. that happens.
Yeah.
And that's not an anomaly. Like a lot of the big categories, you can make a lot. I don't know what Car and Driver is making off of that post,
Hmm.
but I bet they're quite happy with it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get a sense of the scope for how big an affiliate business can get, how much money there is to be made off of Google and ranking for the right times in Google, go look at any of the financials from NerdWallet, right?
Hmm.
They're in personal finance, an extremely lucrative credit category. Credit cards is massive. There's tons of money to be made. They IPO'd, I think, right? You can look at all their financials. They make a lot of money. Okay, a lot. Go look at any of the old reports of what the Wirecutter was doing when it
Hmm.
sold to the New York Times. Go look at the New York Times's financials. You can kind of like back your way out and get a rough sense for what Wirecutter is doing. It is a massive business, and
It
they hawk
is.
like vacuums and headphones, and they do very, very well. I know a lot of people that have built seven, eight, nine-figure businesses. I'm not exaggerating. Like these things exist, and there's a lot of them out there just focusing on specific categories in Google. There is just
Yep.
untold amounts of money to be made, which is why people go so hard at this stuff. And if Google isn't manning the locks properly, like everybody's getting the gold, right? So, and they're going to go hard and they're going to do whatever it takes because there's just so much money on the table. So you need to be skeptical these days.
Yeah, I agree. And even for business owners, if you manufactured toilets and you wanted to get visibility and eyeballs and do marketing, what most people do, and this is another form of influencer marketing where Wirecutter New York Times is essentially an influencer or just influential outlet. And they feature these toilets. And now a lot of the traffic's also going to TikTok, to Twitter X, to Reddit, to YouTube, and even SEO has evolved from just outside of Google to other places where people are searching for this information. And as you mentioned, Lars, right, there is these motives for affiliates to feature certain products above others because of the financial incentives
Mm-hmm.
that they get behind the scenes, which most people do not know of. And these are major decisions people make in their life: insurance, mortgages, the car they drive. And it's really interesting. I went to ChatGPT right now. I said, okay, what are the best selling and most recommended minivans of for 2024? And the previous result showed the Odyssey. I wonder, and if you just use rough math, if they sell 5,000 or 10,000 more cars and they were placed higher, that's tens of hundreds of millions of dollars in added revenue
Mm-hmm.
by just getting ranked higher on Google or in Car and Driver on those lists. Because,
Mm-hmm.
I've bought cars before, my parents have bought cars before because of these rankings that exist. And it's just, it
Yep.
is, yeah, I love how you just brought this to people's attention and just so they can understand the other motives and just behind the scenes that happens here.
There's an army of professionals that are trying to get different products right at the top of those listings.
Right. And there are army of professionals too that of course, like, want to make things better and just bring the best editorial and journalism forward. And
Yep.
there's also others that just do what's called like black hat techniques, where they're just spamming poor quality links, fake editorial and whatnot. And so yeah, Lars, I have a lot of respect for what you're doing. We did feature you in our list of top SEO consultants that's out there. I do highly recommend your blog. And just for any business owners out there, this is what goes on behind the scenes for SEO and even AI SEO, and it is constantly changing. And as
Mm-hmm.
Lars mentioned, there's individuals like us that are aggressively trying to skew these results in the favor of what we think is ultimately the best results and even the best products that are out there.
Yep.
I love it. Anything in closing, Lars, that people can follow you or just to be aware of?
Yeah, if you want to connect with me, my blog is larslofgren.com. I have an email list, so that's where I post most of my stuff. And I'm also pretty active on LinkedIn these days. So feel free to connect, reach out, and I got lots of content over there too.
So what is the best advice you could give for a company or a
Oh
brand or a
man.
business that wants to, right? They want to, they can see what it can do for their business. But what would you kind of end with for them?
Uh, yeah, that's really tough right now. It really depends on the business and the situation and
Hmm.
how aggressive someone wants to be. Um, like if someone is, let's say you're some SaaS business and you're just trying to get in front of more customers, I'd be like, look, SEO is, here's what I'll tell everybody actually. So SEO is just very, very volatile right now. It is more
Hmm.
volatile. It's been more volatile since September 2023 than it's ever been in my whole career. The volatility is off the charts. What I used to tell people is if you're willing to invest in SEO and do it right and go long, that's the part that would always trip people up is going long enough. If someone was willing to go down the SEO journey for 5, 7 years and do it right, do the content, grind it out, you would get to a really magical place. And out of all, I've dabbled in all the online marketing channels. And even today, nothing compares to the volume, the profitability, the ROI of Google. Google's the golden goose. It always has been.
Hmm.
Maybe that'll change in the future, but as of today, and for my whole career, it's always been the golden goose for any company trying to build a marketing platform. So that's what I used to tell people. It's like, if you can go long, you will be rewarded. And just what trips most people up is they quit, right? They quit at
Yep.
year 2 or 3 because it just gets too hard. They get discouraged. They go work on something else. Well, that's all still true. But on top of it, basically how erratic Google has been, in my opinion, it's just a weak execution, shitty execution. It's volatile. They're not keeping things tight anymore. And
Hmm.
what that means is sites can easily get caught in the crossfire
Hmm.
from update to update. And Google now has all those same long-term trade-offs combined with extreme short-term volatility.
Hmm.
Like I have a little site, is basically a passion project. I was hoping to turn it into a real business down the line. But I was doing really well over the summer. I basically almost doubled traffic just by working on content, doing all the things that you're supposed to do, all of the real way, the white hat way, the legit way. And then in August, during one of the August Google algorithm update, literally overnight, I lost 90% of the traffic, over
Wow.
90%. It just disappeared. I got hit by the helpful content update part of the Google algorithm, which is a classifier that Google will tag a site with. And if you get hit by that, all of your rankings just drop, right? Um, Now, there's other types of businesses that maybe don't have as much volatility. That's fine. But like if you're going into Google, like things are erratic. And I'm seeing this on clients, other clients with real businesses, real brands, rankings are up and down all over the place. Google's never moved like it has like in the last year, especially. So now if someone's asking me, hey, Lars, what channel should I get into? Should I really do a really intense investment on SEO? I'm like, well, I still believe in it. I'm still working on it. Right. So, but a few things, everything I'm doing and building, I am expecting enormous amounts of volatility. So I don't overinvest. I'm not overbuilding teams. I'm ready to
Hmm.
move on a dime if something moves against me, like the site that just dropped in August. I was spending an enormous amount of time on it. That has changed. But I didn't have any employees. I didn't have any contractors or freelancers working on it. I didn't really have any ongoing expenses. So I'm like, okay, this is in a like Google jail for like the next year at least. I'm going to go work on other stuff. But
Hmm.
even for clients, how we're building things out, I'm like, we probably shouldn't go hire a 20-person SEO team. Like, let's keep this lean. Let's use contractors. Let's focus on core stuff. And if things really move against us, we got to be prepared for that. So it's all like that same, influencers and social media marketers. This will be like old news to them. They're like, of course, it's like we get shadow banned all the time. What are you talking about? Like you have to take that mentality, which I never used to have with Google. Now I have to bake that into everything that we do. Right. So I still think it's worth it. You can still build a business. I'm still spending a bunch of time on it, but I have been hit hard. I've been hit in ways that don't make sense to me. And I'm expecting more of that volatility in the future, not less. So kind of go in with eyes wide open, right?
That's great. And if anything, we'll be here to talk about these trends, talking about the volatility and being nimble. And hopefully we can provide that information for the users and listeners that are out there. If you have any questions, please comment in the video below and would love to do another one of these and actually answer any of those questions that people have. But Lars, thank you for your time. Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Awesome.